Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome to Monday. It's another bright, beautiful week here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. You know what? The sun is shining outside, and boy, it's nice to see. Spring can't be far away. Are we in agreement on that?
I haven't seen too many dandelions pop up yet, so I'm going to withhold my spring judgment until I see them.
The sun is out.
No dandelions yet, so.
Okay, you're hearing Shelly Garrett. She's with the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce. Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, trying to get the mouth working after a weekend of being off. And she's our guest here on Valley Talk today, as well as Wyatt King and Sandy Bell. Now, Sandy Bell is the area governess.
I suppose we call ourselves governors.
Area governors for Toastmasters.
Correct.
And we're trying to get a Toastmasters club instituted in the Lebanon area. That's what we're going to be talking about on the second half of Valley Talk today. So here's how the show's going to be happening today. Shelly's going to be around for the next hour, and so we're glad to have her back. In fact, Shelly used to be the sales manager at KGAL.
Yes, for 13 years.
Yeah, well, thank you for all you've done. Thank you for what you do for the Chamber of Commerce, and glad to have you here for the whole hour as we talk about a couple of different topics. First half hour, we're going to be talking about Lebanon's Distinguished Service Awards. We're going to be sharing some names with you as far as the nominees, and also when the banquet is going to be, so we'll be talking about that for the first half hour. Second half hour, we're going to be talking about the effort to put a Toastmasters Club in Lebanon, sponsored by the Lebanon Chamber. Is that correct?
Yes, we are sponsoring it and seeding it, and then we'll turn it over to the community.
So why do we need a Toastmasters Club? Shelley has some personal experience and her successful experience with Toastmasters, why she's so excited about it. I'm excited about it because it gives the opportunity for people to cultivate their oratory or their ability to communicate ideas, get people passionate about stuff, and it's always a good idea to be able to communicate. Sometimes we do that better than other days, but the Toastmasters Club is a great opportunity to experience that, craft that skill, hone it, and be able to use it in your personal and professional life. So we're going to be talking about that second half hour of the show. We do also, before time gets away, want to remind you to sign up for Quiznos Taste on Us. And that is our sponsor for Valley Talk. Dale and the crew there put delicious sandwiches together. They're located right across from the parking lot from Novak's Restaurant, right across from the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. You can enter by sending me an email, dave@kgal.com. Put Quiznos Taste on Us on the subject line, or call the station at 451-KGAL or 926-KGAL. Say Quiznos Taste on Us, and we would be interested in giving you the prize. At the end of the show, we're going to pull somebody's name out of the hat of the entries today, and that person will get a $10 certificate, good for any sub-sandwiches, drinks, or chips at Quiznos in Albany only, again located next to the current Novak's Restaurant. Tomorrow is tax time. We are going to be talking to the enrolled agent that we have been using from H&R Block. We're going to be talking about the changing tax picture and some challenges that they've been having this year. I think they're still waiting for some data to come through for people that have invested in stocks and bonds so they can put their tax returns together. We'll check in with our enrolled agent about that. That's Tax Time Tax Talk here on Valley Talk tomorrow, and looking forward to that. We will be having... This is kind of a personal note, but what we are going to be doing, I'm also active in something called the Jesus Network, which is a Christian news and music network. We are going to bringing a biblical archaeologist to town here in the Mid-Willamette Valley next week. His name is Greg Gilbranson. We brought him here before. He is going to be going this summer to Israel and digging where it is believed that Joshua fought the Battle of Ai, or A. And we are looking for venues, church groups, civic groups, whatever, that would like to hear Greg speak. It's free of charge, and you can contact me if you would like. He will be here in town March 13th through the 17th. That's Wednesday through Sunday. And you can call me here or contact me at dave@kgal.com, dave@kgal.com, if you're interested in having him speak to your group. A lot more coming on in Valley Talk in the future. Keep listening for promos. We'll tell you all about it. Shelly Garrett, Executive Director of the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, thank you for being with us on the show today.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking us.
Let's talk about the Distinguished Service Awards. How long have you been doing this?
Lebanon's been doing this for many, 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 many years. Originally, the JCs, the Lebanon JCs, did the presentation of the man, woman, senior first, and junior first citizen for years and years and years. About 2 or 3 weeks before that, the Lebanon Chamber would have their annual forum membership lunch where they'd announce their business of the year and their business leader of the year. And for many years, we kind of operated separately. And, you know, it's an expensive dinner. We thought about 2007, it would be really nice for the community to combine these two efforts. So they'd only have to buy one dinner ticket, and we'd make it a grander kind of a Distinguished Service Awards. And it's been a wonderful thing to do since then. Since 2007, it's just been the Community Distinguished Service Awards, and we love it. The first half of the awards ceremony, we let different service clubs and nonprofit organizations recognize their volunteers of the year or their board member of the year, and that's really nice because so many people work so hard behind the scenes in this community. This is the one night of the year where they can be recognized by the entire community, the Rotarian of the year, the Optimist of the year. I think Build Lebanon Trails is going to be recognizing one of their members. We have a lot to Partners for Progress, our downtown association, have their board member of the year. It's really a fun event. So the first half of the evening of the awards ceremony is all about the local service clubs and organizations. And then we have the Chamber Awards, which is, we've released the nominations on that. That's never a secret. We like to celebrate even being nominated. So we'll be talking about that. But then, and that's, again, not a secret, so you can talk about that. But the evening of the event, the very last thing is the thing that people come for, and that is the man, woman, senior first, junior first, and I think there's 4 of them, plus the community organization of the year, and that's the final thing that everybody's excited about. And I can tell you, as the past Woman of the Year 2005, right, it is one of the biggest and most wonderful things that ever happened to me. Next to my son, it's my favorite thing when I look back on accomplishments. I couldn't be prouder to be recognized by my community.
Now, you mentioned Build Lebanon Trails as one of the organizations involved. We're going to have Build Lebanon Trails on Valley Talk April 8th. That's a Monday, talking about their current efforts and fundraising going on in the spring, summer. Let's talk about the Distinguished Service Awards. Why is it important to have a venue, an event like this, honoring people that are contributing to the community? I think that it's a really nice way to celebrate everybody's efforts. I have to say that I went to the Sweet Home Service Awards dinner this Saturday, and I was amazed. They had over 300 people there, and Sweet Home, they get things done through volunteers. You know, their volunteer work in Sweet Home is amazing, and they celebrate those folks that do all this. Well, this is our opportunity to do the same. There's so many folks that do things quietly that you don't even know about. It gives them a chance for not just their own organization, not just the Rotarians or the Partners for Progress people to know, but the entire community. And, you know, we just cannot get a community to function without the volunteers donating their time and having that vision that makes Lebanon a wonderful place to live in. Can we talk now about who the nominees are? Yes. You want to read the list? Well, now these are the nominations of the Lebanon Chamber Awards. So we have 4 businesses that are up for Large Business of the Year. We have the Lebanon School District, and specifically the Lebanon High School. Now, normally we would categorize that as a nonprofit, but the persons who nominated this were specific about the high school, especially recognizing the counselors and the teachers that have been reaching out and helping the kids. So we decided to put it into this category. Lowe's Distribution Center, often nominated because they do a lot in the community. They help support many the Boys and Girls Club, the Chamber, lots of things. Mega Foods, everybody goes to Mega Foods when they want a donation for food for whatever nonprofit event's going on, including the Chamber, including everyone I know. They are always there. They never say no. They're a really dynamic group of people. And Western University of Health Sciences, the Comp Northwest, last year they actually were nominated and won for the Small Business of the Year. Now, they've increased their staff this year, and they actually have gone into a different category. So they are up to win the Large Business of the Year
this year. Normally, we don't have
Well,
that
there's
kind
a
of a
success
change.
story there.
There certainly is. Well, they're getting more students and they're getting more faculty. So they've gone from small to large now.
And they're doing something right, obviously.
Well, they're doing a lot right.
There you go.
We could talk for a whole afternoon about that. The Small Business of the Year Award, the nominees are the Gateway Imprints and Adam Kirkpatrick. He has a dentistry office in Lebanon. Mallard Creek Golf Course and RV Park, who I am longing to go to see once we get some decent warm weather. Hint, hint for the weather.
Well, it's the sun's shining outside right now.
I know. I was. My husband gave me a bug, so I was down the one day that we could have gone out and gone golfing yesterday. And Citizens Bank, and I think the reason Citizens Bank is it's been nominated for a lot of different reasons, but they've been really critically important in helping CASA. It's been trying to the court-appointed special advocate. They didn't have a location in Lebanon. They lost it, and they volunteered to let them use their building behind their bank, which I thought was very generous. And I think that's probably why there were so many nominations for Citizens Bank. We have a lot of really good business people in Lebanon.
Yeah, CASA's a great program.
They are, and Citizens was very generous to open up their doors and let them be there. And then the Nonprofit Organization of the Year, excuse me, that's a new thing. Last year, we got together with Umpqua Bank, and we wanted to recognize our nonprofits. They really can't compete under the same categories as small and large business because it's a different arrangement. But they do very good things in our community. So we talked to Jolene Watson over at Umpqua Bank, and we asked her what she thought of maybe creating a new award for our nonprofit organizations, and she said, yes, Shelly, I'll do it. If you know Jolene, that's exactly the way she operates. It's a good thing. We'll do it, and Umpqua Bank wants to sponsor it. And then she actually threw in $500 from Umpqua Bank, so the person who wins will actually get a $500 donation. Last year, for the first time, Michelle Maddox's group, the Furniture Share, won, and she got a giant check for $500. This year, the nominations are Samaritan Lebanon Community Hospital Auxiliary. You ought to have them on the air here. Those ladies are. Have you been to the park and during when we have the concerts in the park?
Oh yeah.
You know the ladies that make all of those great desserts. And that's the group we're talking about. They raise money all year long to do wonderful things. United Way of Lynn County, the 211 program that Greg Rose started, yeah, that's been very successful. They've been nominated Lebanon Boys and Girls Club, Boy Scouts of America, the Cascade Pacific Council, that's the Albany one here, Partners for Progress, the Downtown Association, CASA of Lynn County, I just mentioned that, and the ABC House. Those are all the nonprofits that have been nominated. Now, do you want me to go in through the Business Leader of the Year, or do you want to take a break?
Let's talk about nonprofits for just a little bit.
Sure.
I think that there's a real importance that they have played in the past, but I think it's going to get even more so in the future as public service agencies, Department of Health and Human Services, as budgets are starting to get really stretched and to the nth degree on the state and federal and local level. I think the role of nonprofits is going to be even more critical in communities as far as taking care of the people that are less fortunate and just reaching out and helping. Don't you agree?
I do. They have to really, and there's so many that are necessary for us to have the quality of life that we offer all of our citizens, that all of them are competing for the same donations. It is a real hard life for a nonprofit. It truly is. I really admire these folks that are doing that.
I do too, but I think their role is going to become even more critical as we go forward. So
again, the quality of life, if that's what we want to bring to all of our citizens, we need help. And these kind of organizations, like I just mentioned, are the kind of folks that make it happen.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back with more on the list. We're talking to Shelly Garrett, Wyatt King, and Sandy Bell, the area governor for Toastmasters, is in the studio today. We're going to be talking in about 10 minutes about the efforts to bring a Toastmasters club to Lebanon, and sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, why they're doing it, what Toastmasters is, how you can get involved, why you'd want to get involved, and how it can help you improve your skills in communicating, and exactly what Toastmasters is. They don't make toast, or maybe we'll talk about that. Why do they call it Toastmasters?
Good question. Do you have the answer, Shelly?
Yes, it's just the old days you make a toast to someone and you speak. That would be my guess anyway.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer to that, but that sounds good.
We'll go with Shelly's answer.
Investigate that one.
We'll look into that. This is Valley Talk, and we will be right back.
Going out to lunch at a nice restaurant can be expensive, and the big portions put you more in the mood for a nap than a productive afternoon. Mama's Fine Italian to the rescue. The small appetite senior menu is just right. Anyone and everyone is invited to order from the Light Appetites menu for lunch from 11 to 4 p.m. with tasty entrees beginning at only $3.95. Why go hungry or go anywhere else for lunch? Eat healthy, eat light at Mama's. Closed Sunday and Monday, so make the most of Tuesday through Friday and join your friends at Mama's for lunch. Dinner only on Saturday. Mama's features charbroiled steaks every day. Make reservations for dinner or pick up a bottle of fine wine. Seating is limited, so please call for reservations. 541-451-5050. That's 451-5050. Mama's Fine Italian and Wine Shop on West Oak between Main and 2nd in Lebanon, across from the Big Blue Napa Auto Parts building.
Looking for a subcompact tractor? You'll find the world's first at Lynn Benton Tractor. It's the BX Series from Kubota. Two great models are packed full of features. With 18 or 23 horsepower, both are powered by Kubota diesel engines, have four-wheel drive and a two-speed transmission. From light yard work to heavier loader work, there's a BX Series model for you at Lynn Benton Tractor on McLean Street in Silverton or along Highway 99E, Tangent.
Just 2 programs remain in this year's concert season of the Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra. The next performance is Friday evening, March 15th, 7:30 in the LaSalle Stewart Center. Under the direction of conductor Stephen Zilke, the orchestra and the OSU Chamber Choir will perform Bach's St. Matthew Passion. The Passion, written in 1727, sets to music chapters 26 and 27 of the Gospel of Matthew. It is regarded as one of the masterpieces of classical sacred music. Tickets are available at Grace Winds Music and Grassroots Books and Music in Corvallis, and they're available online at cosusymphony.org. The Corvallis OSU Symphony Orchestra invites you to bring the entire family to this special performance, Bach's St. Matthew Passion, Friday evening, March 15th, 7:30 in the LaSalle Stewart Center on the OSU campus.
More Ink Printing in Albany. The same people and the same passion for printing and serving you.
I'm Mike from More Ink. At More Ink, we can make your presentations pop, your business cards connect, and your brochures become bold. Letterheads, manuals, menus, flyers, event posters, and programs. We do it all at More Ink.
Mike and his crew at More Ink are still around to get your custom projects noticed. More Ink on Sandy M Road in the Carriage House Plaza in Albany. Visit moreincalbany.com.
Call 541-928-2675 for More Ink.
If it happens overnight, Eric and Gary have it live during Red Eye Radio on Smart Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome back to Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams, and don't forget to sign up for Quiznos Taste on Us. Send me an email, dave@kgal.com, or call the station at 926-KGAL, 451-KGAL. Say you're interested in Quiznos Taste on Us. In 36 minutes, we're going to be drawing the name of that, and that person will get a $10 gift certificate, good for sub sandwiches, chips, drinks, anything, at Quiznos in Albany, next to Novak's Restaurant, next to the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. Thanks to Dale and the crew for being a big part of Valley Talk here on KGAL. In the studios today, Shelly Garrett, Executive Director of the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, Wyatt King, and Sandy Bell, the area governor for Toastmasters. And we're going to be talking about that here in about 6 minutes. Shelly, let's talk about the list. I think we still need to go over the list of nominees for Business of the Year.
We did that. The Business Leader of the Year, we have 2 nominees.
Okay.
Dr. Paula Crone, she's the Dean of the Medical School in Lebanon and in Pomona, California, as well as Carol Cromwell, who's the CEO of Linco Federal Credit Union and the President of the Chamber, and she's also very involved in the Shedig up in Sweet Home, the folks that put on the Oregon Jamboree. So we got 2 dynamic ladies. It's a hard decision for sure.
And thank you for all the work they've done. So what can people expect for the banquet? And the banquet is the night when the winners will be announced.
Yes. Well, first of all, we have a really huge amount of food. I upped the deal on the food this year because we decided last year not to have a sit-down banquet. We decided the thing that people are liking nowadays was to be able to go up and pick whatever food you want. And so that worked pretty good last year. However, we didn't have tables for people to sit and eat. And it never occurred to me, because I don't drink, that you couldn't hold your food and a glass of wine and eat. without putting the plate down. So this year we have tables. So we don't let Shelly in charge of that. So now we have places for people to sit and enjoy their food. And then we added some additional proteins, and the food will even be grander than before. Prime rib, salmon, delicious. And what folks need to do is we start serving at 5 o'clock at the River Center, and we'll have it. There'll be a big, long buffet. You can go and pick what you want, go back and pick more what you want, whatever you'd like. And then we'll probably around 6 or 6:15, 6:30, we'll head into the sanctuary where we will start the awards. But something really cool that we started last year that we're going to do again this year is pictures. We have a photo booth sponsored by OSU Federal Credit Union, and you can get, everybody comes dolled up to the nines on the night of the DSA banquet. You can get a picture of you and your sweetie or you and your best friend, and it's a really good quality picture. And you take it right there, and you can have it at the end of the evening. So that's kind of fun. Then we go in like I said, about 6:30 or so, and we start the awards presentation. And I try to get everybody home by 9 o'clock or close to that.
What is the cost?
It's $35.
Okay. Does that include the picture, or
that includes everything? Yeah, the pictures are free. OSU Federal Credit Union is paid for that. And I have to say that our sponsor for the night is Samaritan Lebanon Community Hospital. They're our presenting sponsor, so that's why we're able to do what we do.
Distinguished Service Awards for Lebanon. You're excited about Lebanon, aren't you?
Oh, I love Lebanon. I could talk for hours about that, but then you'd lose all your listeners.
Well, you've got about 3 minutes. Let's look into the future of Lebanon. What do you see for the future?
Well, I'm really excited about what LBCC is doing there on Oak Street with their Advanced Transportation Technology Center. I think
you had a presentation on that the other day. I learned a tremendous amount.
Wasn't that dynamic?
That was incredible. It was CNG has much more of a future than I ever thought. Compressed natural gas.
Yeah. And just think of the different kinds of businesses that will be looking at coming to Lebanon as a result of having that. I mean, these folks are going to be training in any kind of auto mechanics and engine repair. What about, car dealers in a different state that want to get their folks up to date and trained on how to work on these engines? Or what about trucking firms that want to be, able to be close to something like this? I mean, it's just, things that I can't even dream of are going to be, I think, as a result of this wonderful facility being in Lebanon.
And the two people that gave that presentation, if you were there,
Brian and Gary,
they're going to be on Valley Talk here very soon, and we're going to talk about that program.
Excellent. Well, that's exciting, and also what's going on across the street from the hospital with the campus there. They're building that beautiful garden, which is just that's really exciting. That sort of thing really brings people to the community, and as they get further on down the road and they build their hotel, another thing that will draw people to town. But Lebanon's not just about that part of town. I always say, there's more to Lebanon than any one. It's not just downtown. It's not down by the medical school. It's the entire community. And every entrance you come into Lebanon, there's something new and exciting. Of course, the medical school is at that end. And then at the other end, we've got the beautiful new Walmart, the super Walmart, and a lot of other businesses. Walgreens have gone in. OSU Federal Credit Union has just built their beautiful new facility. And I'm telling you, that end of town is extremely busy. They have a new, I don't know, I hate to use the word strip mall because it sounds so ghetto sounding, but it really is a little strip mall next to Walmart with some really great stores. Again, growth at that end of town. Mm-hmm. The other entry into town, our beautiful Justice Center and library. Every place you come into this community, there's something beautiful and new and exciting. It's hard not to be excited about Lebanon. And the people make the difference. They're friendly people. You'll feel that when you come here. We like people.
Okay, and we like you, Shelly.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. And I wasn't here when you were a sales manager at KGAL, but it would have been fun to be here when you were.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we still do.
But Dave, before we leave the subject, please, I want you to know that we won't be selling tickets to the DSA past the end of this week. So really, Friday is the last day to purchase tickets for the DSA banquet.
How do they do that?
They can call the chamber and we can take their Visa number and we can mail it to them, or they can come by. We're at 1040 Park Street. But the deadline for buying the tickets, because we have to order the food, will be this Friday. And you won't want to miss it. The event itself is Tuesday the 12th. Of March, and it starts at 5 o'clock at the River Center. And you don't want to miss it because then everyone will be talking at the cooler the next morning about, hey, did you see so-and-so won this? And hey, did you see that funny-looking hat he wore? And you don't want to not be part of that. You want to say, yeah, I was sitting there in the front row.
And you can get your picture taken. So bring your sweetheart.
Exactly.
Bring your best friend and have a picture.
There you go.
Picture on us.
Yep, on OSU Federal.
There you go. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break next. We're going to take a break right now. And next, we're going to talk about Toastmasters. Now, thanks to the internet, we did a little bit of research very quickly. And Toastmasters began in 1924. More than 3 million men and women have benefited from Toastmasters. The first club was formed in October 1924 when a group of men assembled by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley met in the basement of the Santa Ana, California YMCA to form a club to afford practice and training in the art of public speaking and in presiding over meetings. And it promotes sociability and good fellowship among its members. Toastmasters, there's an effort to get a Toastmasters in Lebanon, and we're going to be talking about that next, right here on Valley Talk. So stay with us.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by Regis. Let Regis help you to focus on your business while they take care of your workspace needs. Get 2 months free on a fully wired and furnished office. Call 1-800-OFFICES. This is Charles Osgood. 2 British designers have come up with a wonderfully low-cost, low-tech, high-impact source of light for a third of the people on Earth. It requires no batteries, no kerosene or fuel of any kind, and there's no running out of what it runs on, which is gravity. Jim Reeves is one of the 2 creators.
So the product consists of the generator ambient light unit. It's shipped in a very robust bag which takes ballast. You take it out of its bag, you fill this bag with gravel, sand, soil. You attach the bag, you hang the product, and when you lift the bag, then you have your light source.
More after this. Businesses, from startups to Fortune 500 firms, have something in common. They're intentional, they focus on success, and they don't get distracted. And many successful businesses have something else in common. They work from a Regis office. Your beautifully furnished wired Regis office can be ready when you need it, with a receptionist, access to meeting rooms, and state-of-the-art video conferencing, all with no long-term lease. Regis is the new way to work. Call 1-800-OFFICES and get 2 months free when you mention Osgood. That's 1-800-OFFICES. In this moment, who has your back? An insurance company delivering excellence during your claims process? Auto Owners Insurance has been recognized as highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance claims experience 5 years in a row by J.D. Power and Associates. Let an Auto Owners independent insurance agent have your back, so when the unthinkable happens, you get the claim service you deserve. For J.D. Power and Associates award information, go to jdpower.com. Find your local independent agent at autoowners.com. The Gravity Light is designed to sell for around $5. Each 3-second pull on the bag produces a half hour of useful light. It's cheaper than solar technology. Co-creator Martin Ritterford can explain that.
The trouble with solar technology is that you have to charge a battery with the solar power that you've gained from the sun, then use the battery power to power at night. So it was really important to find the cheapest way of supplying reasonable quality light to these people.
To these people, the Gravity Light can be a giant leap forward. Right now, says Jim Reeves,
A third of the world's population is off-grid. So you've got large communities across Africa and India and South America and even Northern Europe and into Russia where power is either intermittent or absent. So we want to take a large number of the devices out to the intended end users, get feedback on how the product would perform in the field. It's very different from the conventional solutions that people would be familiar with.
To them, changing the world is, to use our late colleague Eric Severid's phrase, not so wild a dream. The Osgood File. I'll see you on the television come Sunday morning on CBS. This is Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
That's someone enjoying a wonderful meal at McDonald's. That's someone enjoying a refreshing Coca-Cola for only $1. And that's the harmonious flavor of McDonald's and any size icy cold Coca-Cola soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. It's hard to describe it any other way. The simple joy of a la carte only. Prices and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Some people don't get the Northwest. Sure, we're a little eccentric, but we take plenty of things seriously, especially when it comes to food. That's why McDonald's new Fish McBites are perfect. Wild-caught Alaskan pollock that's totally delicious.
The catch that's caught here. McDonald's new Fish McBites. Flaky, bite-sized pieces of Alaskan pollock cooked to crispy perfection. It's more fun flavor to love.
If it's eccentric to take food this seriously, then who wants to be normal?
At participating McDonald's, limited time offer.
Willamette Living Magazine brings you the best of our special area in print and online. Locally owned and operated, Willamette Living is the lifestyle magazine of Oregon's Willamette Valley from Eugene to Portland. Every other month brings a new edition packed with engaging local stories, beautiful photography, and offerings from our neighbors in business. Visit WillametteLiving.com to read the current issue online, find out about advertising your business, or subscribe now and have every issue delivered to your home or office. Willamette Living Magazine, your guide to the best of the Willamette Valley.
Home improvement will never be the same once you've heard The Money Pit. Saturday mornings on Smart Talk 1580.
Welcome to Valley Talk. The sun is still shining. It is a beautiful Monday here. Spring. I'm getting spring fever, and it feels good. It's been a long winter. Haven't had a lot of snow this year, but it's been kind of wet. Drier than normal is what I've been told, but it's been cool, and it's nice to go out there. This weekend was nice. It was sunny. Going out in the yard behind the station this weekend, it was just nice to be outside. Nice to have the sunshine. So hope you're having a good day today on this Monday. On the show today, we have Shelly Garrett, Executive Director of Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, Wyatt King, and Sandy Bell. Sandy is the area governor. We were jokingly calling her the governator, but she is the area governor for Toastmasters here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. Or the state?
It's actually Area 32, which encompasses Corvallis, Albany, and now soon Lebanon.
There you go. So we'll hear more from Wyatt and Sandy here in a moment. But Shelly, why are we thinking about bringing a Toastmasters to Lebanon?
I went to the Boys and Girls Club Founders Day dinner a month or so ago, and Wyatt King, who's with us here today, was one of the speakers, and he talked about his experience at the Boys and Girls Club when he was a little kid, and that's when I first met him. He and my son were he doesn't even realize this, we're on a basketball team together. Sean got chicken pox and didn't come back, but that's when I first met you. That's my son, Sean. Anyway, he was talking about his experience with the Boys and Girls Club as a kid, and then as a volunteer, and as a grown-up, and looking at it. And he was so eloquent and polished, and he did such a good job that I was really very proud of him. And I thought, how many young men or women, 23 years old, could stand up in front of a crowd of people and talk that well and do such a good job? Not very many. And then I started thinking back about when I was, starting my career, I wanted to be able to talk in front of people. And they had a Toastmasters club that we started. I used to work for Southern California Edison Company in California. And
what city?
I worked in Rialto.
Okay.
And my husband did too. My whole family were Edison people. We're Edison brats. Anyway, we started a Toastmasters club there, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my career because it taught me how to speak appropriately in front of people. Just the rules of when you leave the podium, when you've introduced someone, and not to wiggle the change in your pocket, and how to prepare a speech with the beginning and the ending and tell them what you told them, kind of a thing. But it gave me confidence. I remembered that I started participating in speech contests, which I'd never done in my life, and I won one, and then I went to a different level and I won another one. I got to be where I was in the state finals, and I came in second, and it was like there was 1,000 people in that hotel in Santa Ana, and it was one of the most unbelievable experiences of my life. And it really changed me, and it changed my career because I was able to learn how to speak in front of people. I was flexible. They could use me for different things, and the company chose me to be on their speakers task force. And they gave me a year training. Then we could go out and talk to anybody from. I spoke at a women's conference in San Diego that they flew us down in a helicopter for about 4,000 women. That was the biggest thing I've ever done. And then the helicopter, I was so totally cool. But I mean, it really helped my career, and it's helped me become a better person up here in my career in Oregon, because I'm not afraid to talk to folks. But I've got some very bad habits that I've developed over the years, so I'm looking forward to this Toastmasters that
so you're going to be a part
together.
Of it.
I need to be re-educated.
Now, one of the things that people sometimes say is that speaking in public or speaking in front of the class, and there are some people that did absolutely get physically ill about speaking in front of people, and that goes from school and when they go into adulthood and their jobs and so on and so forth, that can really impair their ability to prosper in their business and in their life. But some people say that speaking in public is akin to going to the dentist. And then some people would rather go to the dentist than speak in public. They're that terrified of getting up in front of people. So let's talk to Sandy Bell right now, Area Governor for Toastmasters. Sandy, welcome to Valley Talk.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And Dave, actually, I'll go a bit further with that fear of speaking. There's been statistics that show that fear of public speaking outranks the fear of death by a couple of percent.
Fear of death?
Fear of death. 19% of people polled say they're more fearful of speaking in public than they are of death.
Wow.
17% of people fear death, and then it just breaks down: fear of heights, fear of spiders, snakes, etc.
But speaking in front of public is
the number one fear.
The number one. Okay. How did you, tell us a little bit about you. How did you get involved with Toastmasters? How does this help you overcome the terror of speaking in public?
Well, actually, I was one of those 19%.
Oh, really?
I was deathly afraid. And the reason I got involved was because about 6 years ago, I started up a business, and I was going to need to speak in front of people. So I decided, I've got to do something. I would get up and I'd shake. My hands would physically shake. My knees would shake. I'd stumble over my words. What am I doing here? So I sought out Toastmasters. And fortunately, the help it provided me was tremendous. I still get afraid. I don't know if I'll ever overcome that, but at least I can stand up confidently, put across whatever it is I want to say with confidence. And I have found that I actually have begun to enjoy speaking, especially, as we mentioned earlier, the table topics. It's a fun part of Toastmaster meetings where we get a chance to speak impromptu. Is that a word? I don't think so. Impromptu speaking for 1 to 2 minutes about an unknown subject.
What's a table topic?
Dave, I want you to stand up and tell us about Lebanon horses.
They're pretty.
Yeah, see?
They're white.
And you've got 2 minutes
They're
to
big.
speak about it.
Yeah, it's, that's good training for broadcasting too, and one of the things I was thinking of while you were talking is, I'm not going to mention names and some of them are no longer with us, it's sad to say, because they were very talented. But there was one guy that I worked with on the other side of the state for years. And I can't say too much about him because I don't want to disclose that identity. No, he's no longer with us. But he loved coming into the studio and doing his thing, because in the studio, just the four walls and this Nerf ball that you speak into, which is kind of a windscreen for the microphone. But he hated to go out in public where people could see him. So even though people are in broadcasting, sometimes they still have that fear of public speaking, of getting out in a crowd, because it's different to speak in front of a crowd than it is here in the studio. Because here in the studio, there's 4 people in the studio right now. And so you don't have that public looking back at you.
That's a disadvantage, though, because when you have an audience in front of you, if they're with you and they're thinking this is really funny or whatever, you can watch their faces. But if you're being a total dork and they're thinking, when is this person going to shut up? On the radio, you don't get to have the advantage of seeing that your audience, you've lost them. So I prefer speaking to people in public.
So on the radio, you can continue to be a dork and you continue to lose them and you don't know it. You don't have that feedback, that instant feedback when you do.
That's true.
And with an audience.
The thing I like about Toastmasters, too, is that it goes beyond speaking to groups. It gives you enough self-confidence to be able, for instance, your boss jumps in the elevator with you at the last second and says, hey, I can't make that meeting this afternoon. It's on you. Well, if you've been going to Toastmasters a while, you don't just stand there and kind of have this deer in the headlights sort of reaction. You can say, great, I'll be prepared, whatever. You get into the meeting, you know how to handle things that come up unexpectedly.
And in that situation there, that could be the difference between a promotion. It could further your career dramatically.
Absolutely.
If you got in front of the presentation, you did a great job of it, maybe somebody else in the company looks at you and say, I think they need to be in this, and you might get a promotion out of it. So it can mean, more money in your pocket.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Wyatt King, thanks for being with us on Valley Talk today. Toastmasters, what do you think about it?
Well, first off, I think that you sound pretty interested, so maybe we should see you on March 18th at the meeting.
Good one.
If I can, my schedule is very full, and I'm trying not to. I have a hard time saying no to people, and so I'm learning, to do that a little bit more, just so I don't burn my candle at both ends and down the side as well. But love what Toastmasters is all about and what you do, and if I can, would love to be a part of it. But I'm trying to not overcommit.
I can definitely understand that.
That's my New Year's resolution. So I can't break it just yet.
Okay.
But what do you think about Toastmasters?
Well, to be honest, Toastmasters is something that I really started to just learn about, but I've been interested ever since I started going to the U of O because, let's see, on Lillis, on the side of the Lillis, they had a sign that said Toastmasters meets here on Tuesday. And so I always wondered, what's this Toastmasters thing? And I talked to some people about it, found out that it was a organization that helps individuals become comfortable not only with public speaking, but with communication in all aspects of being a leader. So it's really not just, working on being a public speaker. It's developing you as a leader, which is something I think that, every community needs great leaders. And so I'm excited that we're going to bring the Toastmasters into Lebanon. Now, I also want to say that I think that Shelly just kind of has some maternal love for me when she talks about how good I was at the Boys and Girls Club, because I was nervous and shaking and read off my paper too much. But I really appreciate the kind words, and I'm excited for the opportunity to get better at it, because like the table topics, I couldn't do that right now. I couldn't just stand up and give 2 minutes on something I didn't know about, but I'd like to be able to, and I'd also like to be able to just be comfortable in whatever environment it was called on me to stand up and lead.
And there's some tricks to get in front of people to be not quite so nervous. As far as young people getting involved in Toastmasters, you're in your mid-20s, early
24.
24. Guessed that right, didn't I? Why should young people get involved in Toastmasters? You're mid-20s. Let's speak to your age group.
Well, there's a bunch of different reasons. First off, Lebanon is a small community, and so while if you're really active for looking for ways to develop yourself as an individual or as a leader, there's not a ton. Most of the time you'll be going online and watching TED Talks or something like that. And so to have an organization just dedicated to improving who you are as a leader in the community is important, because I'm sure that there's a bunch of people out there that care about Lebanon and want to get involved, but don't have the confidence to really step up and do it. And this is a nice little, baby step into being a leader.
One of the things I've noticed with people, and sometimes I think we grossly underestimate what we're capable of. And what I hear sometimes from people is, how can I make a difference? What can I do as one person to make a difference? You can make a tremendous difference. And Shelly has seen people in the community. In fact, we've got examples of people that have been nominated for Distinguished Service Awards, of people who stepped up and made a difference and made their community a better place to live.
And Dave, we are thinking bigger than just this, because we've had a lot of people say positive things and they're going to come and join us. But we'd like to further on down the road mentor junior Toastmasters. You have to be 18 to be in Toastmasters, but Rob Hess, Dr. Hess, is on my board of directors, and he really wants the high school kids to be involved. And they did an article about this in the newspaper recently, and I mentioned the fact that we want to mentor a junior Toastmasters group. And I heard from a gal in Sweet Home. She would also like to get the Sweet Home high school kids involved so that we could maybe pull from both of those. And I had someone volunteer to sponsor a group of junior Toastmasters if we use the Boys and Girls Clubs. And the Boys and Girls Clubs of the greater Sandy Am are in Lebanon and Sweet Home. So what a perfect, we could switch back and forth on the locations. And I just want to get them started, but I think there's great things that can come not just from this group of adults, but also we can mentor a junior Toastmasters. But one bite at a time. I also wanted to mention Latta Creek, which is where we're going to be having this. It is an unbelievable location, and I myself fear doing PowerPoint presentations because I'm not a techno person. And one of the things I want to be able to work on is the ability to do not just a speech, which I can do, but I want to be able to do a PowerPoint presentation. And they have the equipment there for us to practice on that as well. So as I work on developing my skills, I think I should be able to utilize actually demonstrating that in front of the group, and hopefully they'll critique me and help me with that.
That's a great example, because there are some people that are maybe great public speakers, but they have no idea which end of the projector to point to the wall. And when something goes wrong, and if they're by themselves, they're in a world of hurt.
I'd like to add something.
Sure.
Wyatt brought up the fact about leadership and youth and becoming leaders. And I'd like to say that Toastmasters is where leaders are made. It's not just about communication. We have what's referred to as a communication tract as well as a leadership tract. We also, Shelly, have a youth leadership program. So there's all of these things involved. We learn about communicating orally, about listening. We have a chance to be mentors of other people and share the knowledge that we've gained for ourselves. We have a chance, and this I think is very important, a chance to give feedback. At every meeting, feedback, evaluation is part of the experience. And biggest of all, we learn by practice.
Practice.
Right.
Yeah, Dave, you talked earlier during the break actually about how it seemed like Toastmasters would be a good thing for economic development.
Yes.
And really, I think it's a great thing for community development because you're bringing people in who are interested in getting more involved in being better leaders. You're giving them the skills of what they need to be a leader, the confidence to do it, and they're also networking with a bunch of other people who have the same exact mindset that want to get involved in the community. And so this is basically a hub for everyone who cares about the community to come together and work together to make Lebanon a better place.
Okay. More about Toastmasters and more with Valley Talk in just a moment. We'll take this short break and be right back.
Celebrate the spirit of the horse at the Northwest Horse Fair and Expo, presented by Bison Coach, March 21st through the 24th in Albany. Kick up your heels with the fun of the Equine Extravaganza on opening night, March 21st. Enjoy a magical medley of horses, choreography, color, costumes, and comedy, all with horses at the Northwest Horse Fair. Don't miss the fun of the All-Breed Challenge, as horses of all types and sizes ride an intricate obstacle course competing for cash and prizes. Pick a winner and root for your favorite horse in the All-Breed Challenge. Learn from world-class equine experts teaching horse training, trail riding skills, dressage, western riding, and much more at the Northwest Horse Fair. And there's fantastic shopping. 2 buildings house a gigantic trade show with everything for horse owners and horse lovers. Bring the whole family to the Northwest Horse Fair and Expo, March 21st through the 24th in Albany, and celebrate the spirit of the horse. For more info, go to equinepromotions.net. That's equinepromotions.net.
Jay Farner here from Quicken Loans. We get a lot of tweets from folks that sound just like this. Jay, I bought my home in 2007. Since then, it's gone down in value. Now I owe more on my mortgage than my home is worth. Can I refinance? The answer may very well be yes. Recently, the government announced changes that may allow folks to refinance even if their home has lost value. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you. Or if your current mortgage rate is higher than 3.99%, you've got to give us a call today at 800-QUICKEN. And for 3 years in a row now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. So if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, or if you owe more than your home is worth, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit jdpower.com. Important terms and conditions apply. Calls for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
You probably know the former Hair Express in Lebanon has relocated as Studio 709 in Brownsville. Remember the address? 709 Amelia Street. The phone number? 466-3250. Once you stop in, you'll always remember how much you like their haircuts. At Studio 709 at 709 Amelia Street in Brownsville. Phone 466-3250. Studio 709, where they always take unforgettable care in hairstyling.
Traveling should be fun. Why drive to the airport in heavy traffic, pay to park, and worry about your car? Keep it simple. Reserve your spot on the Hut Airport Shuttle with 5 pickup points and a shuttle every 2 hours. Park free in Corvallis at the Hilton Garden Inn, in Albany at Phoenix Inn Suites. Take the easy, convenient, fun way to the airport. Hut Airport Shuttle. Reservations required. Go to hutshuttle.com or call toll-free 888-257-0126. hutshuttle.com. Science and Common Sense. Dr. Bill Wattenberg will surprise you Sunday nights live on Smart Talk 1580.
And welcome back to Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. You have a few more minutes yet to get your entry in for Quiznos Taste on Us. We've got a number of entries in today. Hopefully you'll win. Dave@KGAL.com is the email address, or call the station 926-KGAL, 451-KGAL. Hopefully you win that $10 gift certificate for Quiznos in Albany, right next to Novak's and the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. Good luck with that. We are talking about Toastmasters today. New club coming to Lebanon. And in the studios, we have Shelly Garrett, Wyatt King, and area governor for Toastmasters, Sandy Bell. So we're a definite go for Toastmasters in Lebanon. Is that what I'm hearing?
We've paid the charter, and we've got all the books and the paperwork, and we've got the meeting scheduled to have everyone hear about it and see if they want to make the decision to join.
What's the cost?
Well, the cost is a one-time $20 application fee, I believe is what it is. New member fee. And then $36 per year?
Per 6 months.
Per 6 months. Okay, so we're looking at $72 per year.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
But you can't beat that. Think about a course at OSU, $1,700 in tuition for 6 months, or $36. You can't beat it.
Toastmasters.
Yeah.
When's the first meeting?
The first meeting is going to be on March 18th, which is a Monday. It's going to be at 7:30 a.m., so bright and early, folks. It's going to be at Ladder Creek's facility, which is behind Economy Supply, heading out on 34 towards Albany. And there will be free coffee and donuts, I am told. So at the very least, come get your breakfast and laugh at us.
So, 7:30 Monday morning, coffee and donuts. Yeah, let's see. What am I doing 7:30 Monday? I must check my calendar.
Nobody has anything on Monday mornings because nobody likes to do anything on Mondays because they're recovering from the weekend, which is why I chose Monday, because then we wouldn't have to be competing with any other meetings. So we may not choose to keep that date. When they get their club determined, they'll have to decide who the officers are and the name of the club and when we're going to meet. But that's a good start.
How often are they going to meet?
I'm told that weekly is the best.
Weekly's the best.
Yeah.
And do they have to be there every meeting?
No. But weekly is good because if, say, you can't make it one week, then you know the very next week you can get right back up on that horse and try speaking once again. But if you do it every other week, chances are you might miss the next meeting.
What would you say to somebody who's listening to this show right now and they want to do it, but they're absolutely terrified of speaking in front of public, but they know it's kind of like going to for the annual checkup. I know I need to do it, but I really don't want to.
It really isn't as painful as you make it sound. In fact, think about this. You only have sometimes seconds in which to make a good first impression. And if you come to Toastmasters, you're going to learn how to make a great first impression. And it really isn't so painful. It's a lot of fun. You go into the meetings, you're amongst a lot of supportive people. If you make a mistake, they just laugh with you. They never laugh at you. Exactly.
And I think that's important for people that are, and the reason I say that is because I've run into people in the public that just freeze. And even when you interview them for, like we do Man on the Street interviews, I bring a video camera sometimes and a microphone, and you put a camera in front of people and it's like you're putting a gun to their head. They just lock up. And you don't have to, people are just people, and they're not, like in Toastmasters, they're not laughing at you, they're laughing with you.
Because we've all been there. We've all made those mistakes, and you just learn that people that are fellow members in the club, they support you, they're rooting for you. It's a great way to begin to overcome that fear that so many of us have.
And a great way to start the week. Talk about on a positive note. Imagine the confidence you walk out of that room with, and then you have that for the rest of the week.
And
if nothing else, you got a sugar high from the donuts.
Right. It's also good. It's not. You don't have to think that you need Toastmasters just because you're a business leader or something.
Right.
It's good for. I have a friend who tells me that with the past year of Toastmasters, her teaching skills improved. She's a music teacher. That her communication with her husband has improved.
There you go.
So it works at a personal level. It can work for businesses. You have several employees.
We have about 30 seconds left. One more time real quickly. How do they find out more?
Well, if you need to find out more, we do have a Facebook page, so you can look up Lebanon Toastmasters on Facebook, and we can get you all the information you need. You can also message it, and then Shelly can get to you directly. Or call the chamber. Yeah, definitely.
heartily encourage you to get involved in this, even if you're a good public speaker. It'll be a chance for you to hone your craft. If you need some help in that area, a great opportunity for you to do it. Toastmasters in Lebanon, get involved. This is Valley Talk. Make it a great day.
Your first choice in local news, sports, and smart talk. This is News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.